The mysterious Soder family fire. On Christmas Eve of 1945, in the quiet town of Fayetteville, West Virginia, the Soder family was celebrating like any other family, filled with love, laughter, and holiday joy. George Soder, an Italian immigrant, his wife Jenny, and their 10 children reveled in the festivities, unaware that their lives would change forever. As the clock struck 1 a.m., the festive cheer turned into a living nightmare. Flames engulfed their home in an instant. George and Jenny managed to escape with 4 of their children, but the 5 who were asleep upstairs vanished without a trace. Not a scream, not a cry, just gone. The fire was ruthless, and by morning, nothing was left of the Soder home except for ashes and questions. Officials declared that the children must have perished in the blaze, but as details emerged, this tragedy began to feel less like an accident and more like a carefully orchestrated horror. A fire without bones. The first bizarre clue emerged when the family realized that despite the entire house being consumed by flames, there were no bones. Forensic experts later confirmed that even in fires reaching temperatures as high as 2,000 degrees F, 1,093 degrees C, human bones don't disintegrate completely. Teeth, for instance, survive even in industrial furnaces. So where were the remains of the 5 children? A trail of suspicion. George Soder had enemies. A staunch critic of Italian dictator Benito Mussolini, George often spoke out against the fascist regime. Some believed his outspoken nature had made him a target. Months before the fire, an insurance agent had visited George and warned him, ominously, "Your house will go up in flames, and your children will pay the price." Did someone follow through on this threat? The night of the fire. The night was riddled with strange occurrences. Around midnight, Jenny received a phone call. A woman on the other end, laughing hysterically, asked for someone Jenny didn't know. When Jenny told her she had the wrong number, the woman laughed again before hanging up. Moments before the fire started, Jenny heard something heavy hit the roof, followed by a rolling sound. Brushing it off as a noise from the wind, she went back to bed. But later, when the fire erupted, she would remember that sound. A web of sabotage. When George tried to rescue the children, he faced one inexplicable obstacle after another. The ladder, which was always propped up against the house, was missing. Later, it was found dumped in a nearby ditch. His trucks, in perfect working condition the day before, refused to start. The phone line, which he planned to use to call for help, had been cut. And when neighbors tried contacting the fire department, there was no response. The fire brigade only arrived hours later, too late to save anyone or anything. Unanswered questions. A year later, further investigations shattered the official explanation of an electrical fire. George had recently rewired the entire house, and the wiring had been inspected and approved. Additionally, the bus driver passing by the house on the night of the fire reported seeing someone throwing flaming objects onto the roof. When the snow melted months later, a strange rubber object resembling a pineapple bomb was found near the site. Jenny realized this could explain the noise she'd heard on the roof just before the fire. Haunting sightings. In the months and years that followed, chilling reports began to surface. A woman in a nearby town claimed to have seen the Soder children at a hotel with a strange couple. Another sighting placed them in a different state, accompanied by adults who appeared to be holding them against their will. Each lead only deepened the mystery, but none offered concrete answers. A mysterious letter in 1960, 15 years after the fire, Jenny received a letter postmarked from Kentucky. Inside was a photograph of a young man who bore a striking resemblance to her missing son, Louis. On the back, a cryptic note read, "Louis Soder, I love brother Frankie, lil boys." Desperate for answers, the family hired a private investigator to trace the letter, but the investigator vanished without a trace. A family haunted forever, the Soder family never gave up hope. They erected a billboard displaying pictures of the missing children, offering a reward for information. But as the years passed, their quest for answers grew colder. George died in 1969, followed by Jenny in 1989, her grief etched in her black mourning clothes, which she wore until the day she died. To this day, the fate of the Soder children remains one of America's most chilling unsolved mysteries. Were they victims of a tragic accident, or did someone abduct them under the cover of chaos? The truth lies buried somewhere in the ashes of that fateful Christmas night. What do you think happened to the Soder children? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling mysteries.